Hey everyone, blessings to you all, man. This is Pine Grove News Live, and this is the East Coast, 6 p.m. here. Dark, not too cold out. We've got weather in the 40s all week, so no snow unless something changes. So I don't know. I had a good day painting. Very busy day in the world. And of course, then when I got home, of course, good day at work doesn't necessarily mean a good day at home. Started off with a bill from my insurance company, right? Connecticut Healthcare. Yeah. That I normally pay, I don't know, I think it's $150 a month. And so on and so forth. That's not including dental. That's not including eye care. Just basic prescription and doctor visits, maybe some blood tests. And I get home and open up this bill, and they give me 4 days to respond. And they want me to pay $990 something a month. And they want my wife to pay $888 something a month. That's like $1,800 a month they want us to pay. That is half our income. Half our income. Yep. So, and needless to say, I got pretty much irritated with that. And with my, insurance company that we pay for our homeowners, they never gave our bank, which they need, whenever we have a loan, they need proof of insurance. But anyways, so my insurance company that I paid for never gave bank a letter of insurance, stating that we have insurance through them. So they went and canceled or bought insurance for ourselves. The bank did. And anyways, I got to straighten all this stuff out. So good thing, didn't have time to do it tonight. Gonna have to do it tomorrow. So yeah, and talking to people like that, the health insurance industry, insurance people, it's almost as bad as doing taxes, but nothing as bad as doing taxes. That is, I just have a constant ringing in my head for like 2-3 days. Usually try to do it over the weekend. But anyway, I hope your days are going better than mine. And I know there are many people out there that are having better days than mine and that are having worse days. Oh, with true love for my brothers and sisters, I say blessings to you all, and I mean it. So with that, we got a lot of news. But I play that song in the beginning for a reason. Peace in Christ. And there is peace. It's so simple. This 5-year-old singing and his dad. I find it very moving. And I play it in the beginning so that you can have peace in Christ while you listen to the things that are terrible things that are going on in this country, in this world. And so that you're not downtrodden and heartbroken and depressed over it. Don't be. These things have to happen. So we're going to start differently tonight. I'm going to start talking about things that I listened to over the weekend. And I put a couple things on Facebook. One of them was this, I think it was a 29-minute video from X22 Report. Okay, and I believe I still have it up here. I want you all to listen to that, okay? Title of it alone, because he's put out a couple since then. So the title of it is right here. It's December 5th. It all begins. Nothing can stop what is coming. Episode 1722B. I've been watching, I haven't listened to him in a while, and periodically I try to. But, financial reports are very boring to me. Just like politicians. But he talks about the Q reports, and a lot of people listen to Q these days, QAnon, and he goes through some explanations that you need to pay attention to. It's not only a warning from him. There are a lot of other ones out there that are warning about the same thing. And the only thing that I can, give you in this, after listening to these reports and these videos, is this. For the past 5 years, I've been doing news, and we've been following the economy closely. I mean, the first couple of years I did it, I even had, I'll call him Mr. T. Okay, he's a brother over there at Shepherd's that I go to. And we used to do the news together. He would do the financials and some other things, and I would, do the bulk of the headline stories, and we'd both comment on it. He's pretty good at that. He is somebody that I'd like to get on here. I don't know. Yeah, it's up to, whatever. I'd like to get him on here to do that kind of stuff again. Go through this, because we need to pay attention to this economy. So the past 5 years, there's always been talk about the economy crashing, this, that, the other thing, the market's going to blow up, whatever, off and on for the past 5 years. And they've probably been talking about it since, 2012, when Obama first took over. But in any case, what's different now? What's different now is that the stock market has lost all its earnings from 2018. They lost all their earnings. And a few weeks after that, they have been losing there was 1 week at 500. Well, let's look at this one right here. This one was a day ago. The Dow falls 150 points. This one was 5 days ago. Dow plunges 400 as Apple, Amazon, and Facebook fall. And I could go on and keep talking to you about what the stock market is. It's just a bunch of rich people playing games with our money and their money, and trying to make money. And it, something simple as that. Facebook, they're being scrutinized for them, and YouTube and Google and all of them have been scrutinized for, free speech stuff and taking people down and not letting people speak out, And Zuckerberg, before Facebook first fell, I heard that Zuckerberg had sold all his stock. So I don't know, man. It rises and falls at their whim, So, not that, no pun intended. I don't put much stock in it, But I've never heard this talk before. I've never heard these numbers before go this far down. Some people talking about, well, it hasn't been like that in 45 years. Well, you know what happened 45 years ago, or close around to that. We had the Great Depression. So, back to this video of X22 report. He talks about, and we've been talking about it with other news too, that somewhere along the line they may be planning a reset. Then they're talking about these drills that have been going on. Some other guy, I forget his first name, but it's either John X Army or Jack X Army or Tom X Army. I've listened to him one time, and he had some good information, some headlines there, but the rest of it was just, he likes to lift himself up, so I won't be listening to him again. I wonder if he's, John X Army, right down here. JONX Army. He likes to mention how much ahead of the curve that he is, that he's way ahead of everyone else. And so with, the headlines that he put out anyway, and what X22 has put out, And this guy's been doing economic and political stuff for quite a while. I mean, you could tell 1,722 episodes, okay? That's quite a lot. If I had mine that YouTube didn't delete, and I'd probably have, quite a few hundred myself. But I don't know what the signal. I mean, this guy, X22 is saying December 5th. I mean, and this is according to QAnon or Q's post, and X22 will go through that with those posts and what they mean and so on and so forth. I know everyone has their different people they go to kind of decipher what Q puts out there. But I found that it's a very important video, enough so that I had to talk about it now and put it in Facebook over the weekend. And I really hope that you guys all pick it up and listen to it. And if you can listen to me for 50 minutes, you could surely listen to this one. That means quite a bit. I mean, they're talking about shutting down social medias, when all these things start happening. And, of course, QAnon was speaking about, well, we've got that covered if they do try and shut down the internet and the social media sites so that we can't talk to each other. Well, that's one of the reasons Trump came out with his presidential, emergency alert system that he will control. And I'm sure that there are other things in the works to prevent, the people from, because we're only going to have the mainstream media if they shut down these social media sites. And then you're going to get scripted stuff from the people that want you to hear the lies. I've been hearing a lot of talk about, I don't know if it's going to happen everywhere. I don't know if it's going to be some kind of false flag with some EMP, take out some electrical grid or all of the electrical grid. I mean, there's been a lot of other supposed attacks in sections of the electrical grid. You remember the ones or at least one in California last year. Excuse me, when they took out a section of some electrical grid down there in some fenced-in area, cut some pipe or something. Yeah, but we're very vulnerable when it comes to that. So I'm sure that the government has something in place for them, but there's nothing there for us. Okay, they will be able to communicate, but we will not. So, I mean, I really, we're just going to have to rely on the Lord. And why not? It'll be tough for everyone. It will be hard to take. But there is peace in Christ. Half hour after I got those, bills, I guess, from the insurance company. I mean, yeah, I was irritated quite a bit. I mean, it almost devastated me because that meant that I couldn't pay it. And then if I don't have my medicine, I'm just as good as dead. There's a few medicines that I need and some that I don't need that I can get off of. But yeah, I would definitely, in either case, I'm going to rely on Jesus, on God. That's what I decided about an hour before we started broadcasting. So we seem to be still live at YouTube. They haven't shut us off yet. So we'll go on. There's a lot of news. I'm going to try and get through it quickly, though. But here's some things that were in this X22 report. You're talking about Bitcoin prices, that they keep plunging. And when they hit the bottom, I mean, they're talking about Bitcoin and these cryptocurrencies being the New World Order's currency, because they're going to do a reset. They're going to start everything all over, and the only thing that they'll be accepting is digital money. That's it. We talked. I've mentioned this many times. There's many countries that are in debt big time. Who's the one that's making all the money? Because China, okay, is in debt. Japan, Russia, the U.S., in debt. Where's all the money going? And who has it? Well, of course, it's got to be, the elite and those Rothschilds and Rockefellers and the Queen of England. Yeah. They've got all kinds of stashes. Gold, silver. In any case, and we could talk about that stuff later. You should be looking to see, first of all, you should be preparing with food and water. I mean, push yourself to get that extra can of, potatoes or beans or whatever. But you really are going to, I feel the need that you're going to have to do it even more now. And I have been so lacking in that of late that the Lord may even punish me for not. I think that's one of the reasons, of the multiple reasons, that He allowed me to go back to work, was to make this money to do these things, prep for my family. Okay, He's providing for me, and that's what He wants me to do. I got off track. I started buying stuff that I didn't want, didn't need. So I may just have, if we can last till the spring, which I don't think so. I've got some prepped, and I got a lot of water prepped. But other than that, we're gonna rely on the Lord. He'll make us, wanting for food and water at some time, and makes and He will. He does correct us. He does. Some people call it punishing, but I call it correcting. Sometimes you feel like it's being punished, but anyway, we're not listening. Yeah, stiff-necked people. And here, okay, this is one of the things from Anonymous, talking about a Q report. They're talking about, Twitter, social media, blackouts. Remember, we've had them the past couple months. All of them have gone down briefly here and there. So anyway, there's still a lot of things going on right now. Still people taking count on, what happened in the elections. It's very quiet right now. Nobody's talking about it. There are a few in the alternative media that will talk to you about it and let you know. There are other people that are going to be arrested and are already arrested for voter fraud, mostly on the Democratic side. Yeah, I think the only way that red wave was kind of stayed off was the fact that, there was much interference. So in any case, this is the big news here today. Right now, we'll get off that. This is the big news that's going out there, okay? I don't really call it big news. I think it's a big bunch of lies, but NASA, okay? What was it? NASA's Mars Explorer landed today. Something they're calling the InSight mission. I'm going to play it for you right here at the 12-minute 7-second mark for about a minute and a half. I'm going to tell you a couple things, and then I'll bring you to actual 2 pictures that came back live from Mars. So here we go.
This is a good time to tell you a little bit more about that technology experiment we've been talking about, Marco. As we mentioned earlier, InSight does not have an orbiter in position to send EDL data back live. So the CubeSats hope to fill that gap. Here's how they'll work.
Communicating between Mars and Earth requires a complicated choreography, with everything in the right place at the right time. Sometimes hours can pass before information is relayed from one planet to the other. That's why when NASA's Mars InSight lander launches this year, the rocket will carry 2 tiny satellites on a technology test of their own. Meet Mars Cube 1. Marco, NASA's first CubeSat mission to deep space. These briefcase-sized satellites will travel separately from the InSight lander while they test out new miniaturized technologies. And if they make it to Mars, they could relay information back to Earth about InSight's descent and touchdown, and do it in mere minutes. Although this fast communication isn't crucial to the success of the InSight lander, this CubeSat test could change the way future spacecraft phone home.
Bye for touchdown.
One second.
Touchdown confirmed. InSight is on the surface of Mars.
All right, so touchdown confirmed. I mean, this thing you can skip, obviously, like I do. So, watching a bunch of people standing around watching monitors. There's 2 clips in here that show you actual live video feed right here from Mars. It's a little dusty because of the landing they made, but it'll get cleaned up. So it doesn't show you much, I know, but there's the second one. Same thing. Oh, thought I saw something sparkle there. Anyway, whether this is true or not, that's what they're celebrating. Okay. And while people are starving in this country and people are homeless because of these intentional fires, this Agenda 2030 thing, yeah, they're it's private. Supposedly it's private, but I guarantee you that we're paying a good chunk of that. But anyways, along this line, Elon Musk. From the week, Elon Musk is pretty sure he's going to die on Mars. Yeah. You ever listen to that guy? I listened to a couple interviews that he did, and he's a pretty weird guy. I mean, he's a good thinker, obviously, and he really does seem to generally love mankind. And he has been, stated as saying before that, what we need, and definitely do need, is for more people to love each other instead of hate each other. But we know what time we're in with that. And so hopefully Elon, will search even further, and maybe he will find the real reasons. So Elon Musk doesn't want to live on this planet. What Christian does? I don't. I mean, I love the planet. I love what he's created. I love the trees, the forest, the fields of flowers and hay, and the blue and turquoise colored oceans. I love that. His creation is good. I mean, when God, after he made them and he said it was good, even God loved it. It is good. But then, you put man and then deceive him and trick him with lies and innuendo, all kinds of stuff. Then it's not going to be. It's not going to be how it's truly meant to be. In any case, the SpaceX CEO who thinks a base can be built on Mars by 2028 told Axios that there is a 70% chance that he personally is going to the red planet. Believe me, he put enough money into these things. If he wants to go to Mars, he'll go to Mars. So this optimistic prediction, but listen, folks, he's got to get past the Van Allen belt. This is the whole problem with man not being able to go past the barrier that the Lord put in place around the earth. Put it there for a reason. He didn't want interaction. He didn't want anything coming in or anything going out. And they've tried to manipulate this Van Allen belt, trying to stretch it to be able to put more satellites up there because it's just getting too crowded. Yeah, and so if we ever do that, which is the Orion mission that NASA has got going, that astronauts on the ISS will tell you about this Orion mission. Go Google Orion, Orion. And there are at least 2 astronauts that has specifically came out and said, yeah, to put man, and take him into space because he hasn't been there before. Okay, we only did that thing with Hollywood. Okay, and I sat in my living room in 1969 on a black and white TV. Actually, it might have been colored. Yeah, of course the signals from space were in black and white. They had to do it that way. But, Hollywood and even Germany, when we were at war with them, there were propaganda films on both sides. U.S. was behind the space race with Russia. And so they had to put a man on the moon, however they could do it. And they did it through Hollywood. Sorry, folks, if that breaks anyone's, image of what the U.S. is. Maybe if that hurts you, you don't want to be waking up with the rest of it then. In any case. So, NASA. This is from the Free Thought Project. NASA launches months-long investigation into SpaceX because Elon Musk smoked some weed. And I watched this interview. Okay? He did hold it in his hand, take a little puff, and then that was it. But he says he's not he doesn't smoke marijuana. He says he may have tried it before. He has nothing against it, and I have nothing against it either. I mean, it used to be illegal. There's a lot of drugs that used to be illegal until some guy, some business owner with a lot of influence and money went to Congress to have the thing, hemp, marijuana banned because he needed the hemp for his rope, his business. Go look it up. That's how, marijuana was banned. And then they started banning the Coke in the Coca-Cola and all this other stuff. So it's like anything else. Yeah, so they're going to investigate him because he was smoking weed and drinking on live broadcast. Yeah, he was drinking. He did have a drink, a couple ice cubes in it. I mean, what is the problem? I don't find the interest in drinking anymore. Used to. No, I do not. It does. It messes with the senses. It changes you. So in any case, I mean, not to say that I don't drink. I have picked up and tried, what do you call that? Mike's Lemonade. Black cherry or blackberry lemonade, something like that. And they're pretty good. But I normally don't have them until, it's summertime or starting to fall when we like to have our fires out in the backyard. And, me and my wife would go over there and play Xbox with Tiger Woods' golf game. It's the only game that my wife has ever played on any systems. Normally she doesn't do any of that. But for some reason, she was interested in that. And so we do that. We sit out there, we put a TV out in the yard next to the fire, and we play golf. Have a drink or two. It's very relaxing. It's nice. In any case. Robots begin replacing farm workers. This is from the End Time Headlines. Yeah, they're going to start replacing people in every position that you can think of. That's why Elon Musk came out and said, at one time in another interview, that they're going to have to come up with some kind of universal income. Okay? But before that happens, folks, they've got to get down to 500 million, a manageable number. That's what they call it from the Georgia Guidestones. Okay? That is their manageable number, which means you have to get rid of 5.5 billion people. How do you do that? Well, a lot of it's going on already. Wait till you see. They've been pumping up the hype of this superbugs everywhere, and that we don't have antibiotics to treat any of it because these strains have mutated so much that all the antibiotics we have right now just won't do anything for them. Now that they got that into your head, then you're going to start seeing, you haven't seen nothing yet. There's a lot of stuff and scary stuff out there right now. You haven't seen anything yet. They're not going to have any cures, or at least they're not going to tell you about them unless one of them gets sick. Then most of them will be in their little tunnels and cities below us. Anyway, I think when these things start happening, we should just pack up and go find out where these entrances are. I'm sure they'll be well covered, well fortified. But as someone else said, I mean, they do have to still take in air or exhale carbon monoxide from underneath, which means they'll have to open a door or a vent somewhere, and it's not going to be subtle, and you'll know where they are. So, now let's just go on. I'm just saying, tonight you just need to be prepared. Here's one of them. Rat hepatitis jumps to second human in Hong Kong, sparking concern. This was 2 days ago, over the weekend. There's all kinds of stuff that's going to be starting over there. That's where they're going to start. I mean, what do they have? Like 1.5, 2.5 billion people? Just guessing. So this disease previously found only in rats is spreading to humans. Go figure. Previously only found in rats. Somehow, now that these superbugs and everything else are resistant to antibiotics, we might as well have a disease that jumps to humans that normally doesn't. Think about that one. Hospital placed on red alert after drug-resistant superbug found, sparking fears of outbreak. This is in the UK over the weekend. Worcester Royal Hospital. Okay. Strands of a drug-resistant superbug have been found at a Hereford hospital. Health officials have warned. Klebsiella pneumoniae carbonsamase. I know I ruined that one. KPC is the same bug that contributed to the death of 16 people in Manchester several years ago. It was found again at a Worcester Royal in June, and although wards have been cleaned, the hospital still may have an infection risk. 24 patients were infected, including one who suffered blood poisoning. So the bug was first found on orthopedics and trauma ward. So folks, yeah, I'm sure they can use that as a catapult or catalyst, however you want to put it. And yeah, a lot of people come in and out of hospitals, spreading that very quickly. Oh, yeah, I didn't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this Caravan anymore. This one, they're talking about the one in Tijuana, supposedly, this humanitarian crisis. And this guy is talking about what's happening in Tijuana from West Palm Beach, Florida. So I don't know whatever. He did the story and couldn't go. I don't know what's going on. All I know is when you see reports of this Tijuana Caravan, that it's mostly, it's set up just like CNN used to set up and stage events before they went on camera. I mean, all you see are kids running around and mothers walking around, and it looks like they're pretty stressed out. But I'm telling you, the majority of the reports are that they are men between the age of, I don't know, I guess 23 and 35. That's what one report said, but I've seen older men, young men. I've actually seen women in there too, but it's very hard to find them in one of those actual caravans. But the entrance point is not Tijuana. They want to keep your eyes on Tijuana and your attention there. Well, from the very beginning, we all know that they're coming in from Texas, or to Texas from Monterrey, over there in the East Mexico. The Gulf there. They'll be coming up there. They'll be coming up in a few places. They've got a few caravans. Mexico doesn't want to have anything to do with them anymore. They can't afford to feed them. It's putting a lot of strain on them. They can't even feed their own people. Or they could if they stopped giving all the, politicians and whatnot, all the money, like any other socialist nation. Or, place like the United States, once the politicians get a hand of all the money. Yeah, almost the same thing. U.S. Customs and Border Protection issue statement as Caravan rushes to San Diego port, prompting closure. I mean, I've put a news out already, probably Friday of last week, already stating that Trump was going to close the border, or had closed the border. He was talking about it today as well. Yeah, if it gets out of hand, they're just going to close it. I'm not going to let anybody through. So the CBP temporarily suspends operations at San Ysidro port of entry. Let's see, border protection officials temporarily. Yep, blah, 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 temporarily. Southbound crossings for both pedestrians and vehicles at the San Ysidro port of entry. And that was Sunday. All right, what do we have here? Oh, yeah, this is from the Activist Post. Agenda 2030 Smart City Challenge. Well, there you go, folks. You got a chance to win yourself $75 million. The government's going to award $75 million for the best smart city design. Okay? Where is the government getting that money? Where do they always get the money? Do they ask us for permission to have this done, to have this, this sent out to designers and have a contest and see who can come up with the best design and then give them $75 million of our money? I'd rather take the $75 million and build temporary housing for the people who still are without housing in freaking Houston and L.A. and California. And, I mean, come on, people. How much more of this are we going to take? I don't know how much more I could take. I mean, the Lord settles me down as much as I need it. It's His plan. If He allows it, I guess I have to, get over it. This is just a drop in the bucket. I mean, we have this deficit, and why do they keep doing this when all it does is just bring us more into debt? Stop spending right now. Except for what we need to operate and what we need to feed our already poor people here. The rest of it, we don't need to study the butterfly in Brazil right now. We need to freaking, get this country back in order and the richest country ever to exist, United States, and they can't feed their own people. U.S. silently passes and signs a bill to create a new cybersecurity and infrastructure security agency. Now, if they haven't already done so, I don't know why that they're passing another bill. It should have already been taken and done by the military. So this bill silently passed, like I'm sure there's been many, through Congress and the U.S. President Donald Trump's desk that was signed right before Thanksgiving last week, which would redesignate the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's National Protection and Programs Directive into a new agency called the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, the SISA, or the CISA. Kind of the, CIA and the, you know what I mean? They kind of combined the two. Just letting you know about it. Euthanasia legalized in Australia. Natural news. We already know there's a couple states here in this country as well that have this euthanasia law. The state of Victoria will now allow assisted suicide beginning mid-2019. Folks, it was already offered here in Connecticut, in southern New England. They turned it down, but they will be back. You know, we could have a long, long discussion about that. About all the poisons and stuff that are turning the natural births of women and the children into, children with autism and all the other different ones that are around the same thing. I mean, my mind just going blank on the other ones. But this has been studied, with the Monsanto and all that other stuff and the increase in these births. It's just very coincidental increase in that amount of people born with autism and other forms of autism with the increase of the Monsanto weed killers. But, you can't just blame them. You got to blame the people who are putting the fluoride in the water. You got to blame the people that are spraying the freaking air for whatever reason, whatever purpose they think that they need to spray it with. Barium, aluminum powders, and barium, and who knows what else. And if they can't get you with that, they put it in vaccines and then make it mandatory for you to take them. Mandatory for children to get them before they can go to school. Mandatory for nurses or any other health call workers working around people. And any people working in rest homes, nursing homes, or assisted care homes. Yep. That'd about cover quite a few people, wouldn't it? Mandatory. And they're even coming up with some reasons to bypass the, well, it's my religion thing, I can't do it thing. Or that they've already got ways around that too. I haven't been forced to take it yet. My wife, who works there as a manager in another building, she refuses to take it, and so she has to wear a mask from now until next April. Flu season supposedly disappears. Yeah. And I've seen a few people who have been strong enough not to take it, having to wear the mask. And of course, if they come to me, and ask me to wear it, then I'll have to wear it as well, around the residence anyway. That's all they stated, that we had to wear them around. I don't know, people. Everybody makes their own rules. Yeah, so, we know about that. Just discussed that. So a judge just ruled that mutilation or mutilating the genitals of little girls is not illegal. The liberals rejoice. So a judge ruled that mutilation of the genitals of little girls who have no choice in the matter cannot defend themselves. Where are the parents? He ordered it legal. It's okay. You see what's happening here in these days of Noah? I mean, what else are we waiting for? Yes, we're waiting for the restrainer to be removed out of the way. And what is that? Falling away? I don't know. I'm going to have to talk more with my brothers and sisters about that. This from the Watchers. Kind of did this backwards. I'm going to do the weather in the end. Violent tornado sweeps through Roccia di Nito, Canton, Italy. Who knows? Maybe I'll pick up an extra language if I keep doing this, huh? Well, so there's your tornado. Province of Canton, Calabria region around 11:30 UTC time on November, over the weekend, causing significant infrastructure damage and leaving several people injured. This is the second tornado to hit the province in 5 days. Now, I don't know people. I think I've asked before, and somebody told me that it may be not an unnormal thing. I've never heard until this past year of Italy having tornadoes. So I ask again, is it normal for Italy to have tornadoes? I mean, I guess we're just used to reporting the ones in the United States. But now that we're using the, global network, you'd think that you'd hear about them more often. Yeah, well, I wanted to put something up, and somehow it seems to be gone. So I don't know what happened to it. So let's go find it. Can we go find it, please? Okay, let's go to pictures up here somewhere. Here we go. Go to pictures. It's around here somewhere. Let's see. It's right here. Take that. And I just want to put this out there before I go any further. It should be at the beginning of the video. I may have to change that. But this is our disclaimer. Fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe copyright under Section 17 USC 107. So there you have it. That is out there. Now I can play this. Okay. All right. Well, my computer has decided to shut down. Wow. Okay, so now it's coming back. This video could not be played, and I think they just shut me down on YouTube. We'll go. It looks like it's still up. Wow. It didn't allow me to take the video. So several floods. This is also from the Watchers. Several floods hit Iraq, leaving 3,000 plus homes flooded and more than 1,200 people dead. Well, you also know what happened over the weekend, right? Iran. And they didn't include this. Couldn't find it because I normally get 6.0 and above earthquakes. And they did not report. Let me see if I can find it because I know I've downloaded it from some other place. Come on. Oh, I did. Yeah, this one right here. No, that's not it. Okay, so it was the one from Central America. But anyway, this is from Iran. This happened over the weekend. 6.3. Iran-Iraq border. So I can't see where the fault lines are running in there, but this is not the first time there has been an earthquake that magnitude in this area this past year. So I believe that they're, it doesn't look like there's a fault line because it's not showing me the fault lines right now, but in any case, diverse places. And they didn't give that one, they didn't give this one to me. I had to get this from the Watchers. Okay, it is on my PC, but it wasn't on my laptop, and still the same requirement. I get 6.0 and above to my email accounts. But it's not in the one that I use for news. But anyway, the shallow 6.0 earthquake near San Andreas, Caribbean Sea. Right there in the middle, right there, where it all originated. Honduras, Venezuela, it was over here, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. Remember that there was a hurricane that also was hitting this place while these people were on the march and just died out. I even saw blue skies when somebody was reporting supposedly from where they were when there was supposed to be a hurricane going on. There's definitely some weird stuff going on, man. You got to pay attention to those things. How can that guy be, reporting from a place that has blue skies if there's a hurricane going on? I mean, it was just about right on top of him. You remember that? Last week. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Anyways, okay, so that was the second one. And that's the only ones I remember. Oh, this one, I don't know what to make of this one, people. I mean, what do you think of this one? From the week, Trump apparently wants the U.S. government to start a TV network to compete with CNN. Be careful about that one. And you say state-run TV? I mean, Iran has it. I'm sure there's a lot of China has it. There's a lot of state-run TV. Kind of scares me when he goes this way. Government to start a TV network. So President Trump is about ready to return to his old job as television host. Trump on Monday once again lashed out against CNN, laminating the fact that the network has a powerful voice portraying the United States. No, they don't anymore, Trump. Sir, no, they don't. When even 60 Minutes, when I started watching that, and when I saw Anderson Cooper's face come on, I turned it right off. I thought it was done by somebody else besides CNN. Apparently, it is affiliated or done by CNN. 60 Minutes Mondays, after football, and it had a couple good stories too. And once I saw his face, I couldn't watch it anymore. So we're turning it off, Mr. Trump, Mr. President. Oh, Mr. Trump, he is president. I'll try and fix that. So, anyways, network has a powerful voice portraying the United States in an unfair and false way. Yes, they do. They're not the only ones. So does my local channels here in Connecticut. It's a blue state here, and anytime something goes wrong or there's some news out there portraying the president in a bad way, they will have it all plastered all over the news here. Yeah. If something good happens and he does something good, you won't hear about it. Nope. Yeah. So is that fair and fair and balanced news? Absolutely not. I should start recording these things. Really being, we call it, not senile. Never mind. Christians are crazy anyway. Riot police fear tear gas as 30,000 protesters furious at Macron's hit France. I had an article over the weekend which said that there was 250,000 people. 250 riot police. 250 French riot in the streets of Paris in protest over the incompetence of old boy President Emmanuel Macron. Okay, that was from Now the End Begins. And then we got this one, reducing it quite a bit. That was 2 days ago. So they got some big differences here, So I don't know. Maybe this is all being all made up and blown out of proportion as well. From 250,000 to 30,000. Which is it? Okay. I have the other article. It's on my PC. I can always email it to myself, which is a different email, and send it to me and show it to you. Tear gas, water cannons fired by police. Yep. Amid a desperate struggle. Where's their mind control MRAP machines? supposedly all being sent to the border. Yep, tanks being sent to the border. Already did a video on it. Yeah, they got those little, satellite-looking dishes, and they're going to bombard them with frequency. And when you hear other people talking about, oh yeah, you're talking about frequency, oh, that's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy. You gotta be kidding me, right? Nope, not kidding you. No, they have it. They have, different data, what do you call it? Data sites, web pages, so on and so forth, showing you exactly what frequency can do. Go listen to, I think her name is Debbie Treveris. She's a big, some people call her activist, but she speaks out on behalf of these frequencies being plummeted in the chemtrails and the water in the ground being poisoned, and that, the government is using those things to keep us in line. She's one that talks about oil is a renewable source. Water is a renewable source. Of course it is. I've always agreed that water is a renewable source. It comes out of the sky, man. Yeah. Unless you change the atmosphere and the way that the clouds and the greenhouse effects works, That's the first thing I learned in biology when I did like 3 months in college. Yeah, so apparently these yellow vests before that all these people are wearing, these people are wearing them. First of all, they all have to carry them in their cars. I guess it's a law there. I don't know if it's a law just if you have a car and you're driving the streets that you have to have one of these yellow vests. But that's one of the reasons why they're wearing them, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, a lot of stuff going on there. You should hear this guy talk, man. You guys think that other people sound and look like maybe the coming of the Antichrist? You know what? After listening to him, he sounds like a big, going to be a big actor in that as well. Maybe even him himself. Anyways, just wanted to report this. 13 Sudanese Christian converts arrested and tortured for apostasy in the Sudan. I guess there's wars going on around there, and Yemen over here. Immigrants, what do you call them? United Immigrants, whatever. In Saudi Arabia, attacking Yemen. Anyway, so you think you got it bad? I mean, I guess we could just go over there as a evangelist, help them out. I'm sure your life will be less than nothing in no time over there. Anyway, so that's all I got, people. I'm going to do a special, I don't know when, maybe even on one of the regular news days. And I'm just going to go to Free Thought Project. Okay, and they report on police actions and such, and likewise things. And I'm going to do, I guess you call it an expose, special, just concentrate on those stories, because they are horrific and they're going on all around this country and other places. And this is one of their other ways, from within, that they're trying to pacify us. Well, those things aren't pacifying. Those things just make us angry. When police go and brutalize somebody for nothing or kill somebody by mistake because they're too afraid to ask them questions. Whatever. I think it's because, like we said before, that they're trained in the military or like military because they have military assets, machinery, vehicles, equipment. It was given to them by Mr. Obama free. Yes, and I still have that link that you can go and look up your state, your town, and find out exactly what they were given free and when. And it's pretty old. It's, from 13 to 15. Who knows what they got now? I hope maybe it was updated, but don't know. But in any case, people, even with all this stuff going on, there's just only one thing to do. And that's just, we have to keep looking up, because our redemption draws near. All these things are happening. All this apostasy, all this evil and hate and hostility, it's all a sign of the second coming of Jesus Christ. It's soon. It's pretty soon. There's just a couple little things that we may be waiting for. I mean, they've already got just about everything made for that third temple, including the red heifers. They've got them, okay, in order to start these sacrificial killings again. They just need to build it. I think that will be happening soon too. How fast can they put up a temple? Pretty fast these days. In any case, all I can say, people, God bless you in your evening as you go on. It is Monday, and I will see you Wednesday unless something comes up, and we'll come out earlier. And so with that, grab a hold of your family. Keep them close, man. Keep them around you. Don't let anything be the root of having your family be split apart. Let's learn to forgive our loved ones. They're our blood. And they're pretty important. They're pretty amazing. And we don't want to be separated from them, not one day, not 1 hour. So let us forgive each other. Let us forgive the offenses or offense. And just learn to love again. I mean, I know the love of this world. Or at least I used to know the love of this world. And it's not the love, it's not agape love. It's not the love that Jesus Christ will share with you. And while he's sharing that with you, you'll automatically gain the hope that you need to carry on. Because he is hope. Jesus is hope. That's who he is. Hope. He is our Redeemer, our Savior. I can just go on and on who he is. You all believe in him. You all celebrate him on December 25th every year. Little baby Jesus. Well, that little baby Jesus grew up to be a man, and he was persecuted. He was loved, and his own people killed him. But you know what? That's what he came to do. His little trick, that wasn't a trick. They were all just, blinded. So they killed their own God. Jesus already agreed to come down here and die for our sins. He took upon himself on that cross all the sins of the world, past, present, and future sins. And he took them all on the cross, and he let his Father, and his Father was more than willing to, because his Father he hates sin. He cannot be near sin. That's why Lucifer was banned, was thrown out of heaven. And he destroyed his own son, Jesus. Let his Father, for the saving of the entire human race. It was enough for him to bear, and he was glad to do it. Not once. God bless you all. Peace out.